Unit 1, Preparing for the User Interface Design. Introduction. User interface or UI refers to the point where users and computers interact and communicate through a device or system. It is the visual field of a device, application, or website that determines how a user interacts with it. Let's take Google for example. Everything you see when you go to Google's website is part of their UI design. This includes the visual elements, the layout or placement of each element, the look and feel. They all constitute the user interface. UI design helps customers use mobile apps, websites, operating systems, smart home devices, e-commerce platforms, social media, digital assistants, ATMs, video games, and car infotainment systems easily and effectively. It makes interfaces user-friendly and visually appealing. Planning the UI design is essential in ensuring that your digital product achieves its goals, which is why we will be learning all about UI design in this course. UI design covers the aesthetic design of all visual elements involved in the presentation and interactivity of the digital product. UI is a part of UX, or user experience. UI deals with the visual design and interactive elements of a product, making it visually appealing and easy to use. On the other hand, UX encompasses the overall user experience, considering factors beyond just the interface, such as user research and usability testing. UI and UX work together to create a positive and satisfying user experience. In this lesson, we will learn more about UI and its surrounding concepts, as well as how to evaluate the UI design brief. Topic 1: Types of user interface. There are several types of UI that we usually encounter. These are: Graphical User Interface, GUI, enables users to interact with the system accessed through the pointing and clicking of graphic elements and icons through a mouse or a trackpad. It is one of the most common types of UIs. Example: Windows operating system. Advantages: 1. User-friendly for non-technical users. 2. Hides complexity of actions from users. 3. Enhances user experience with attractive visuals. 4. Provides immediate visual feedback. 5. Utilizes real-world models and imagery. 6. Supports multiple input devices for interaction. Disadvantages: 1. Demands power and memory resources. 2. May have low discoverability for certain features. 3. Can overwhelm users with an increasing number of control elements. 4. Requires intentional searching for hidden commands. Command Line Interface, CLI, is a text-based user interface that uses commands to enable users to interact with the computer system. Commands are a predefined set of operations understood by the computer. The user has to type in these commands to interact with the computer. Example: MS-DOS system and the Linux Bash. Advantages: 1. Offers faster performance compared to other user interfaces. 2. Requires less memory, RAM, usage. 3. Demands lesser CPU processing time. 4. Can function effectively with lower resolutions and simpler displays. 5. Operating system-based CLI tends to have a smaller file size. Disadvantages: 1. Requires memorization of a substantial number of commands. 2. Can be challenging for beginners to understand and use effectively. 3. Even a minor spelling mistake can result in instruction failures. Menu-driven user interface displays a series of options from a menu that users will choose from to complete an intended action. These options can be displayed as drop-down, pop-up, or full-screen menus. Example: ATM. Advantages: 1. Eliminates the need for users to remember commands, unlike command line interface. 2. Easy to use without requiring prior knowledge. 3. Requires minimal system resources. 4. Menu interfaces can be presented visually or through voice-based interactions. 5. Provides improved user guidance and assistance. 6. Facilitates easy presentation in multiple languages, enhancing accessibility. Disadvantages: 1. A poorly designed menu interface can lead to user confusion and reduce efficiency. 2. Excessive consecutive menu options can negatively impact user friendliness. 3. Users are unable to customize the interface to suit their preferences. 4. Lack of shortcuts limits user convenience and efficiency. 5. The menu can occupy a significant portion of the screen, potentially affecting the available space. Touchscreen graphical user interface enables users to interact with the system through their fingers. This interface is common among portable devices, such as smartphones and tablets. Unlike the simple GUI, this interface supports swiping, holding, and clicking, equivalent to the right mouse click, and other gestures like the two-finger tap to zoom or rotate an object. Advantages: 1. Offers a simpler and faster alternative to manipulating a mouse or typing. 2. Eliminates the need for external devices like a keyboard or mouse. 3. Allows for the incorporation of various motion actions. 4. Accessible and user-friendly for children and older adults. 5. Zoom-in gestures enhance accessibility for visually impaired individuals. 6. Adaptable to a wide range of devices for versatile use. Disadvantages: 1. Control element size is constrained by the limited display size of mobile devices. 2. Additional motion actions may not be easily discoverable for users. 3. There is a possibility of unintentional activation due to stray touches. Voice-controlled user interface, VUI, refers to an interface design where users communicate with the computer through voice or speech in a conversational manner. Example: Google Assistant. Advantages: 1. Provides a natural and intuitive communication method, making it easy and simple for new users. 2. Assists individuals with medical disadvantages, such as visually impaired users who can interact with the computer using voice commands. Disadvantages: 1. Requires additional processing time compared to other UI designs. 2. Not always accurate, as the computer may struggle to determine the meaning of a command, leading to potential errors in the outputs. Form-based user interface uses a form-like structure where the user can type and enter important information to collect data. The collected data will then be used by the system to proceed to the next steps. Advantages: 1. Suitable for data entry tasks. 2. Requires minimal training or learning curve. 3. Easy to use and navigate. 4. Allows for the implementation of data validation methods. 5. Does not demand extensive processing power or memory. Disadvantages: 1. Forms can occupy a significant portion of the screen, potentially affecting available space. 2. Limited options or flexibility compared to other interface types. 3. Not well suited for handling complex applications or tasks. Natural language user interface refers to the interface that allows users to interact with the computer directly in pure human language, just like how humans interact with other human beings. In this interface, users can type or speak out their commands, which the system will process and answer. Several artificial intelligence (AI) technologies, such as machine learning (ML) and natural language processing (NLP), are also used to optimize this interface. Example: Amazon Alexa, Apple Siri. Advantages: 1. Does not require learning or prior training to use effectively. 2. Offers greater flexibility in executing tasks. 3. Accessible for individuals with physical disabilities. 4. Enables usage in systems without traditional input-output methods. 5. The ability to ask follow-up questions enhances user-friendliness. 6. Faster compared to menu-driven interfaces. Disadvantages: 1. Often requires an online connection for successful interactions. 2. Users may ask questions beyond the system's capabilities, leading to reliability issues. 3. Unpredictable results may be generated. 4. Natural language interfaces demand significant resources for natural language processing. 5. Programming them can be complex. 6. May encounter difficulties in unfamiliar situations or changing environments. Topic 2. Web-based user interface. A web-based user interface, UI, refers to the visual elements, interactions, and overall design of a user interface that is accessed through a web browser. It is the part of a website or web application that users interact with, enabling them to navigate, input information, and receive feedback. Web-based UI. Websites. The user interface of a website includes elements such as navigation menus, buttons, forms, and interactive components. These can be found on the main pages, subpages, and various sections of the website. Web applications. Web-based applications, including productivity tools, project management systems, and online editors, have their user interfaces accessible through web browsers. The UI components in web applications enable users to interact with the functionalities provided by the application. Content Management Systems, CMS. CMS platforms like WordPress, Joomla, or Drupal have web-based interfaces where users can manage and publish content, customize website layouts, and configure settings. The UI of these systems typically includes menus, dashboards, and editing interfaces. E-commerce platforms. Online shopping platforms, such as Zalora, Shopee, or Lazada, have web-based UIs where users can browse products, add items to the cart, and complete the checkout process. These interfaces often incorporate search bars, product listings, filters, and shopping cart functionalities. Web-based tools and services. Various web-based tools and services, such as email clients, e.g., Gmail, Outlook, social media platforms, e.g., Facebook, Twitter, and online banking systems, have their user interfaces accessible through web browsers. Web-based games. Many games are now available to play directly through web browsers. These web-based games have their user interfaces, including game controls, menus, and settings, integrated into the web interface. Topic 3: Stages of UI design. Designing the UI involves planning how to visually represent the elements, state changes, and interactions the users will undergo as they interact with your designs on screen. The UI, user interface, design process typically involves several stages, each with its own set of activities and considerations. Collaboration with UX. UI design is closely intertwined with UX design throughout the entire process. UX and UI designers often collaborate to ensure a seamless and cohesive design that considers both the functionality and aesthetics of the product. The UI design process begins with a deep understanding of user needs and requirements. UX research findings, user personas, and journey maps provide valuable insights that inform UI decisions, ensuring that the visual design aligns with user expectations. Ideally, you will begin UI design with the low-fidelity wireframes you have from the UX design. Component design. The visual design phase is where UI takes center stage. Based on the wireframes and guided by the overall UX strategy, UI designers work on creating a visually appealing interface. This involves decisions on color schemes, typography, imagery, iconography, and other graphical elements. Common outputs. 1 UI kits. 2 symbols, buttons, badges. 3 element states, hover state, click state. 4 components, like tables, lists, cards, forms. 5 actual text. Prototyping. Prototyping is a collaborative effort between UX and UI designers. While UX prototypes focus on demonstrating the flow and interactions, UI prototypes bring the visual design to life, showcasing how users will interact with the final interface. Purpose. 1. Connects all screens to show the flow of interaction in a simulated environment. 2. Ensures the product's intended appearance, behavior, and flow before going into production. 3. Serves as the pre-code or no-code version of your product. Topic 4. UI elements. Visual elements and tools play a crucial role in the UI design process, as they help designers communicate information effectively and enhance the overall user experience. UI elements. Interface elements have behaviors that users are familiar with, so UI designs must maintain consistency and predictability in the elements and layouts that they choose. This is so the users can accomplish their tasks completely, efficiently, and satisfactorily. The following are some of the elements used on user interfaces. Input controls. Buttons. Text fields. Checkboxes. Radio buttons. Toggles. Toggles. List boxes. Date field. Navigational components. Breadcrumb. Slider. Search field. Icons. Tags. Pagination. Informational components. Tooltips. Icons. Progress bar. Notifications. Message boxes. Modal windows. Containers. Modal windows. Topic 4, UI elements. Visual elements. The UI elements are made from visual elements, such as the following. One line provides the visual guide for the eyes toward an important detail in the design. The line's various widths and depths make it the most versatile visual element. Lines can imply abstract ideas, like time, using long or short lines, or rhythm, using straight or wavy lines. In this example, horizontal lines separate the main parts of the article from each other but also create rhythm when scrolling down the page. Source, misplaced. Design. Shape is formed when one or more lines are connected to form a boundary. Shapes help transform designs as they provide contrast and depth to illustrations. The different types of shapes also have different meanings. For example, geometric shapes mean order and predictability, while organic shapes give a more natural and human appearance. The different sizes and placements of shapes also help create a hierarchy. In the example above, the angle of the images differs from that of the red rectangles around them. In turn, this creates an interesting tension between the two. 3 UI patterns are created by repeating a motif or texture on a surface. They can appear natural, man-made, organic, geometric, repeating, or random. 4 Space gives your UI design breathing room. The use of witty space or negative space gives balance to the information and other elements, thus making the design easier to read and navigate for the user. One such way of balancing spacing in design is through grids, which divide the space with columns and rows. In this web design example, you can see a clear use of a grid to help divide space evenly for the design elements. In the header, the design is split almost evenly between large header text and large interior design photos. As you scroll down, there are subsections to help a user read through the planning, estimating, and building sections. Even the footer design is clearly divided into columns to help a user find the exact link they are looking for. 5 Colors serve as the main triggers of emotion. They can be used in headline text, body copy, buttons, illustrations, icons, and photography. Using colors also helps call attention to a specific part of the design. Meanwhile, color palettes and schemes help create brand recognition. There are numerous ways in using color, but the most important considerations are hierarchy and unity within the design. The following are some color schemes that are used in UI design. 1 Monochromatic colors, use of one main color and all of its shades from white to black, used on minimalistic websites, used when you want to emphasize the content itself. 2 Analogous colors, use colors that are next to each other on the color wheel to provide a more harmonious look. 3 Complementary colors, use colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. 4 Triadic colors, use of 3 main colors that form an equilateral triangle on the color wheel. Websites make use of different colors. In order to ensure that these colors do not have issues when viewed on a web page, regardless of the type of browser or device, we need to use web-safe colors in our design. Web-safe colors display consistently on web browsers without glitches and without the need to download them. Click this link to see the web-safe colors and their respective hex and RGB codes. 6 Typography uses typefaces and fonts to make the copy in the design legible, clear, and enjoyable to read. It helps build brand recognition and hold the attention of the viewers. In UI design, it is essential to use web-safe fonts so that you can be assured that your text remains complete, readable, and as you designed it. Web-safe fonts are pre-installed default fonts on most computers and devices, regardless of the operating system. There are 6 types of web fonts. 1 Serif, fonts with small decorative strokes that stick out from the main body of the letter, easier to read in physical, printed formats, X, Times New Roman. 2 sans serif, fonts that do not have serifs, easier to read on screens, X, Arial. 3 monospace, fonts with equal spacing between characters, X, Courier. 4 cursive, fonts that resemble a person's handwriting, X, Brush Script MT. 5 fantasy, fonts that are highly stylized and decorative, X, Luminari. 6 MS, fonts created by Microsoft for its digital devices. These fonts have MS in their names. X, Trebuchet MS. Here's the list of web-safe HTML fonts you can choose from. Helvetica, sans serif. Arial, sans serif. Arial Black, sans serif. Verdana, sans serif. Tahoma, sans serif. Trebuchet MS, sans serif. Impact, sans serif. Gil Sans, sans serif. Times New Roman, serif. Georgia, serif. Palatino, serif. Baskerville, serif. Andale Mono, monospace. Courier, monospace. Lucida, monospace. Monaco, monospace. Bradley Hand, cursive. Brush Script MT, cursive. Luminari, fantasy. Comic Sans MS, cursive. Keeping up with the latest trends and techniques is essential for UI designers to create intuitive and visually appealing interfaces. Topic 5, the Design Brief. The UI Design Brief details the primary goals, timelines, finances, and general expectations of the client for the UI project. Here are some of the benefits of having a design brief. 1. Affects planning efficiency. 2. Encourages both designers and clients to set realistic goals. 3. Estimates appropriate timeline and cost. 4. Helps reduce delays and mistakes. 5. Ensures smooth working process. Drag the line in the middle to the right side to reveal the components of the design brief, and to the left side to reveal the sample UI design brief. Design brief. Components of a UI design brief. Project name *. This briefly tells you what the project is and who it is for. Company. Background/overview *. This provides a brief introduction to the company or organization commissioning the UI design project. Include information about its industry, history, values, and overall brand positioning. This helps the designer understand the context and align the UI design with the company's identity. Target audience *. Detailed information about the intended users or audience of the product or experience. This may include user demographics, behaviors, preferences, and needs. Project objectives. This component clearly states the specific objectives of the UI design project. These could include improving user engagement, enhancing usability, increasing conversions, or aligning the UI with a rebranding effort. Design direction and specifications. This indicates the desired design direction or style for the UI. This could include describing the aesthetic qualities, mood, and visual elements that should be incorporated. This could include guidelines for typography, color palette, imagery, iconography, or any other design elements. Project scope and deliverables. This part defines the number of screens or pages to be designed and any additional design-related tasks, deliverables expected from the designer, such as wireframes, visual mockups, interactive prototypes, or design assets. Sample UI design brief. Project name. UI for Bob Optical, Incorporated website. Company background/overview. In conjunction with the upcoming event, Bob Optical is planning to create a responsive e-commerce website that is both mobile-friendly. Our primary emphasis will be on crafting an intuitive user interface, enhancing user interactions, and delivering an exceptional overall user experience. Target audience. The target market for Bob Optical includes eyewear enthusiasts, fashion-forward individuals, existing customers, healthcare professionals, event attendees, Project objectives. The objective of this user interface, UI, design study is to create an appealing, intuitive, and user-friendly design for Bob Optical's e-commerce website and mobile app. The study will focus on the visual elements, layout, and interactive features to enhance the overall user experience. Design direction and specifications. Interactive prototyping. Create interactive prototypes that simulate user interactions and allow users to provide feedback on the proposed design. Project scope and deliverables. Asterisk user surveys. Asterisk user interviews. Asterisk competitor analysis. Asterisk user persona development. Asterisk user journey mapping. Asterisk usability testing. Asterisk information architecture, IA, analysis. Asterisk sketch. Asterisk wireframe. Asterisk mockup. Lesson 2, Selecting tools, delivery platform, and appropriate software. Introduction. Selecting the right tools, delivery platform, and appropriate software for UI design is crucial as it improves efficiency, ensures design quality and consistency, facilitates collaboration, considers platform-specific requirements, enables scalability and adaptability, and supports skill development. Making informed choices in these areas enhances the overall success of UI design projects and helps deliver exceptional user experiences. Topic 1: Tools and hardware for UI design. Using the appropriate tools, hardware, and software in UI design can help us enhance our productivity, precision, collaboration, and consistency to lead us to well-designed and user-friendly interfaces that meet the needs and expectations of the intended audience. Here are a few examples of the tools, hardware, and software used in UI design. Tools and hardware for UI design. Computer. A reliable computer is one with sufficient processing power and memory to handle graphic design software and other design tools effectively. Graphics tablet, optional. This can be useful for creating digital illustrations or sketching directly on the computer for more precise and natural input. Smartphone/S. This tests the UI design on real devices to ensure responsiveness and usability. Consider using both iOS and Android devices to cover a wide range of platforms. Printer/scanner, optional. If necessary, this may be used to create physical copies of designs for review and a scanner to digitize hand-drawn sketches or reference materials. High-resolution display. This will help you accurately visualize and evaluate the details and colors of your design work. Internet connection. Stable internet connection is essential for research, accessing design resources, collaboration, and downloading software updates. External hard drive or cloud storage. Used to backup and store design files securely. Design guidelines and references. Help ensure consistency and alignment with the overall project goals. Topic 2: Software for UI design. When designing the user interface, a variety of software options are available to consider. Here are several examples. Figma. One of the most popular UI design tools that have powerful editing tools and various useful features for designing, prototyping, and gathering feedback. It also has a CO editing feature, called a multiplayer design, which allows designers, developers, and other stakeholders to work on the same Figma file together in real time. Sketch. A collaborative vector-based design tool only offered on Mac OS that allows you to create UI and UX designs for websites and mobile applications. It is one of the earliest UI design tools. Adobe XD. A vector-based design tool that lets you create wireframes, prototypes, mockups, and full designs. It can be integrated with other Adobe software, including Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Stock, and Adobe Fonts. UXPin. A React-based tool that allows production-ready code, helping designers achieve full consistency with their final output. It also has wireframing, accessibility, and design system documentation tools. Other programs useful for UI design. Device emulators/simulators. Use device emulators or simulators provided by development platforms, e.g., Xcode for iOS or Android Studio for Android, to test the UI design on virtual devices during the development process. Color Calibrator, optional. For accurate color representation, consider using a color calibrator to calibrate your monitor to ensure consistency in color accuracy across devices. Example application can be X-Write. Collaborative tools. Utilize collaboration tools such as project management software, communication platforms, e.g., Slack, and file sharing services, e.g., Google Drive or Dropbox, to facilitate communication and collaboration with team members. Topic 2: Software for UI design. Media formats and file sizes. The choice of media file formats in UI, user interface, design is essential as it directly impacts the visual elements, performance, and user experience of a digital product. JPEG, Joint Photographic Experts Group. Usage: photographs, images with gradients. Pros: good compression for photographic images, widely supported. Cons: lossy compression, not suitable for images with transparency. PNG, portable network graphics. Usage: icons, logos, images with transparency. Pros: lossless compression, supports transparency, alpha channel. Cons: larger file sizes compared to JPEG, may not be suitable for photographs. GIF, graphics interchange format. Usage: simple animations, images with limited color palettes. Pros: supports animations, transparency, limited to fully opaque or fully transparent pixels. Cons: limited color range, not ideal for complex images. SVG, scalable vector graphics. Usage: icons, logos, illustrations, scalable graphics. Pros: vector format, infinitely scalable without loss of quality, supports interactivity. Cons: not suitable for complex photographic images. WebP. Usage: high quality images with efficient compression. Pros: high compression efficiency, supports both lossless and lossy compression, good for photographs and graphics. Cons: browser support may vary. TIFF, tagged image file format. Usage: high quality and uncompressed images for print or detailed graphics. Pros: lossless compression, supports high bit depth, 16 or 32 bits per channel. Cons: large file sizes, less suitable for web and digital display. EPS, encapsulated PostScript. Usage: vector graphics for print and scalable designs. Pros: vector format, supports transparency and high-quality printing. Cons: less common in web design, may not be supported in all browsers. AI, Adobe Illustrator. Usage: vector graphics created in Adobe Illustrator. Pros: preserves vector information, editable in Illustrator. Cons: requires specialized software for editing. PDF, portable document format. Usage: vector graphics, multi-page layouts. Pros: preserves vector information, supports multiple pages. Cons: larger file sizes, may not be as optimized for web use. ICO, icon image format. Usage: icons for websites and applications. Pros: specifically designed for icons, supports multiple resolutions. Cons: limited to icon usage. When choosing a media file format and UI design, it's crucial to consider factors such as the type of content, desired visual quality, transparency requirements, and the intended platform or medium. Additionally, designers should be aware of browser and software compatibility to ensure a consistent and optimal user experience. Topic 3: UI delivery platform. UI delivery platforms refer to the various mediums or technologies through which user interfaces, UIs, are delivered to users. These platforms provide a means for users to interact with software applications, websites, or digital products. Here are some common UI delivery platforms. Desktop applications. UIS delivered through desktop applications are designed to run on personal computers and laptops. These applications are installed locally on the user's machine and provide a dedicated interface for interacting with the software. Web browsers. Web browsers serve as a platform for delivering UIS over the Internet. Web-based UIS are accessed through URLs and can be accessed on various devices, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are commonly used for web-based UI development. Mobile applications. Mobile platforms, such as iOS and Android, offer specific UI delivery platforms for smartphones and tablets. Mobile applications are developed using platform-specific frameworks and languages like Swift or Objective-C for iOS and Java or Kotlin for Android. Smart TVs and set-top boxes. Smart TVs and set-top boxes provide a platform for delivering UIS on televisions. These UIS are typically designed for remote control input and focus on displaying content and navigating menus on larger screens. Wearable devices. Wearable devices, like smartwatches or fitness trackers, have their own UI delivery platforms. The interfaces are optimized for smaller screens and limited input options, such as touch screens or physical buttons. Voice assistants. Voice assistants, such as Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, have voice-based UI delivery platforms. Users interact with these platforms using spoken commands, and the responses are provided through synthesized speech or displayed on connected devices. Augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR. AR and VR platforms offer immersive UI delivery experiences. AR overlays digital information onto the real world, while VR creates entirely virtual environments. These platforms often require specialized devices like headsets or smart glasses. Chatbots and conversational interfaces. Chatbots and conversational interfaces provide UI delivery through messaging platforms or dedicated chat interfaces. Users interact with the system through text or speech, and the responses are generated through natural language processing and machine learning algorithms. It's important to note that UIS can be designed to be responsive or adaptive, allowing them to adapt to different screen sizes and platforms. This flexibility enables users to access and interact with UIS across multiple delivery platforms seamlessly.